Good morning once again, America. I'm back here today, and welcome to my channel, to Maya's Politics and Survival Guide. And today I'm going to talk about a little bit of stuff, as I normally do. And one of the things I want to talk about first is my Folgers instant coffee, which I enjoy every morning drinking. It is delicious coffee. It's affordable coffee, and I tell you, if you're struggling financially, stop going out and paying other people to make your coffee. Go down to Walmart, go down to your local grocery store, and get yourself a large container of Folgers instant coffee. You get about 130 to 150 cups of coffee per container for about 14 bucks now. So I drink it every morning. I drink it throughout the day sometimes, and sometimes I'll drink it before going to bed. Coffee doesn't keep me awake. I've been drinking it since I was 15, and I'm old now, so I get to drink it anytime I want. So I'm going to take a sip, and I'm going to take another. Best coffee in the world, I think. So, but anyway, what I want to talk to you about is Great Depression foods, things people ate during the Great Depression, and also in today's society, because I know a lot of people are struggling out there. Well, one of the things is people stop going out to eat. Stop eating at McDonald's. You can make an Egg McMuffin at home. You can make your toast at home. You can make your cereal at home. You can cook at home. That's why it's called a home. You have utility appliances to cook on. Learn to cook. Stop wasting your money. Because trust me, the way the economy is going, you're going to wish you had learned to cook, and you started cooking, and you started buying and stocking up on supplies. Because right now, we are looking at hard times, and they are not going bye-bye anytime soon. They are going to get worse before they get better. Now, I'm going to let you know, you need to stock up on the basic essentials. The basics. Flour, lard, other oils, seasonings, non-perishable goods such as canned goods, pasta sauce in glass jars. You want all these non-perishable items. If you have a freezer to freeze meat, start stocking up on your meats for protein. Because I'll tell you, if you look at my last video on the Great Depression era of chicken and green fried tomatoes, then you would understand and how important it is to have protein in your diet, or at least some protein. Now, I'm going to go back into talking about the Great Depression cooking and survival food. Because right now, we are at the beginning of another Great Depression. They're not going to tell you, just like they did not tell you in 1928. Even though the signs were there. The signs are here, and most of us know it. We see it. We feel it in our wallets and pocketbooks. We see how little our money is buying now. You can spend up to $200 and not even fill up a grocery cart. I remember years back, you could go and you could shop and you could fill up a grocery cart for about 60 bucks. $200 doesn't even fill it halfway any longer. So I know for a fact that we are in the beginning stages of another Great Depression, and this is going to be far worse. And now that the Strait of Hormuz is closed down and we are no longer getting oil, not only that, the farmers are no longer getting what they need to fertilize their crops. Farmers are no longer able to afford to run their farms any longer. That they are literally auctioning off their farms. They are literally selling their farm equipment just to make ends meet. And when they sell off their equipment, that means there's no farming. That means there's going to be less food for the marketplace. So I strongly recommend that the American people get their heads out of their asses and wake up to the facts. This is not going to go away unless we vote November 2026 blue across the country and get rid of the Republican Party that has allowed the buffoon in the White House to destroy our country. Yes, the buffoon in the White House that has bankrupted himself time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. And now he's bankrupting our country. And he's bankrupting you. And yes, he's bankrupting you too, MAGA, because you're idiots, just like him. Now, if, and which I believe, we are going to hit another Great Depression, you're going to wish you had listened to me and stocked up and stockpiled. I'm not just talking about stocking up on spaghetti and meatballs in a can. I'm talking about stocking up on beans and rice, seasonings, cream of wheat, oatmeal, raisins, seeds. Oh, yes. Once you eat the food disappears. As long as you have seeds and land, you can regrow it. If you stock up on canning jars and lids and stuff, you can learn to can and jar food for later usage, as I do. You can bake pies and you can freeze them for later. You can bake cookies and freeze those and eat them for later. See, there's so many things you can do to survive a Great Depression. A lot of people didn't know. Back in 1928 and 29, and that Great Depression lasted up to 8 to 10 years. And finally, things started to rebuild. But that's a long time to be struggling to survive. And standing in a soup line for a bowl of broth and a piece of bread, if you're lucky to get it. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about Great Depression survival food. And what people did back then was they used cornmeal as a cereal. Yes, cornmeal and cream of wheat are somewhat similar. Now, you basically do the same thing with cornmeal as you do with cream of wheat. You add it to boiling water. But with the cornmeal, not oatmeal, cornmeal, you want to slowly add in the cornmeal and stir it as you're adding it so it doesn't clump up. Kind of like what you would do with cream of wheat. And as you're stirring it, it begins to get thicker and thicker, and it has that consistency. Now, one of the important ingredients of cornmeal that you're going to need is going to be a little bit of salt. Not a lot, just a little. And then you're going to want to have at least pancake syrup or some sweetener to go in it, like sugar. And once it's getting thick, you want to add some sugar to it and keep mixing it, and then add some butter into it and give it a buttery flavor. And in my opinion, cornmeal cereal looks really good. I love the color of it. It's not just a bland white color of cream of wheat, but I eat cream of wheat too. I love it. I love my oatmeal. But cornmeal, you can make a cereal out of cornmeal. And a lot of people during the Great Depression era actually did that. They literally cooked cornmeal because that's all they had. They made cornmeal bread. How do you do that? Well, I'm not sure exactly on the recipe because I don't have it in front of me. But from what I recall is that you take the cornmeal And you take warm water, you put the cornmeal in a bowl, and you add warm water, and you keep mixing it up together until it gets really thick and mushy, kind of like a flour where you mix water to it and how it becomes doughy. Well, the cornmeal is going to get a little bit like that, except for it's not going to be dough. It's going to be a cornmeal. And you can take a little pinch of it and roll it up in your hands into a ball and flatten it out. Just flatten it out. Now you want to add your seasonings to it too. You want to add a little bit of salt. You want to add some peppering to it. And me, I like to dice up jalapenos and onions and mix it in with it to give it a little extra punch. And it's good. Now, my mom made that for us. That's how I learned this. She grew up in the Great Depression era. I grew up on a lot of Great Depression food. Even though we didn't have to eat it, it was delicious. It was wholesome. It was sometimes not the greatest, but I'm still here. Well, once you put in the seasoning and you mix it all up and you roll it up in a ball in your hand and then you pat it out into a patty form, you put a little oil in a frying pan and you heat it. You heat that oil up. Well, you put those patties in that pan and you let it sear on one side for a couple of minutes and then you flip it over for another couple of minutes. Oh God, it's so good. And I'll tell you, that is home cooking. That is women back in the Great Depression learning to be very creative on how to make food for their family. A lot of people didn't know that. It is so easy to do. It just takes a little time and effort and preparation. But when you get hungry, you will take that time, you will put in that effort, and you will enjoy a wholesome, hearty, home comfort meal. Now you can take some chili beans and put them in another pot. You can take corn, a can of corn, and drain it. Add it in with the chili beans. You can take black beans, a can of black beans, rinse them and put them in the same pot. And then add yourself some tomato paste to it. And stir it up. Add some seasoning. Spice it up a little. Give it a little kick. It'll kick you back too. Trust me. Sometimes those spices can really bite back from time to time. But it's good going down. Well, the thing is, that cornmeal bread and that chili bean sauce that you make, and you just put that cornmeal bread on a plate and pour that beans on it, and you just break it up and scoop it up and eat it. Oh, it is so good. And people say, well, there's no beef in it, there's no chicken in it. Well, you do know that beans have a lot of protein. You don't have to eat meat every day to survive. A lot of people in the Great Depression era did not have that opportunity to eat a lot of meat. They were lucky if they did. So there are so many different ways of surviving in America in 2026 if you use your brain and learn to cook different types of meals. Simple meals. Don't think that you're going to go out there and get a restaurant meal. And I don't call them restaurant quality meals because I don't think restaurants are really selling you quality food any longer. They get a lot of their products from a company called Cisco. Cisco is a company that pretty much has bought up all the everything else out there. And they prepare all the food for restaurants now. They send them in buckets. They send them in boxes. They send them in plastic bags to restaurants. And they just reheat the food and just put it on your plate and, oh, we cooked it. No, you didn't. And if you look up Cisco, what they do, you'd be shocked. I did. And you had to be a restaurant owner in order to get their food. Otherwise, they won't sell to you. Not to the average Joe. Nope. It's a profit-making business. They only want to sell to restaurants at a price and let the restaurants overcharge you for the cheap food they just made. So, cooking at home, not that hard to do. You can do it. My mom raised a bunch of us during the Great Depression era. And I tell you, there were a lot of kids in our family. And we all survived, fortunately. But she used a lot of creative recipes to make a meal. And I enjoyed those days. And now I enjoy making a lot of those meals myself. My husband loves them. It takes him back when he was a kid too, because he too grew up on those types of food. Today, America, people have become accustomed to eating junk food, convenient foods at McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and not a lot of people know this. A lot of these fast food places are no longer American owned. You need to do your research, America. There is a company in China called Yum Yum. Yes, they bought out all these fast food chains in America. They are not American owned. All that food you're eating is low quality food. That's why you feel the way you do every day after eating at one of these places. You feel blah. You feel constipated. You feel, ugh. You feel tired after you eat. That's because there's nothing nutritional in that food. Nothing. Not a thing. They say it's real meat. I don't think so. I've tried Taco Bell, and I know why they call it Taco Hell. Oh, the after effects of eating it? You'll know too. Why would you eat it? I don't know. I tried it once, just like I tried McDonald's once. Never will eat it again. It's just nasty food. And overpriced. I recommend that you learn to cook, America. Go online. Learn to cook Great Depression meals. You can look up Great Depression recipes. They're delicious. I know, I enjoy them. I love the aroma when you're cooking, how it just goes throughout the home and you can smell it. I had neighbors when I was cooking some food, and I had neighbors knock on my door. They asked me what I was cooking. And I said, chili. They go, we can smell it all the way down the street. I had my window open because it was getting hot in the kitchen. So I opened up the window so the aroma was just going outside and just flowing down the street. People were just enjoying the aroma. And I said, well, come back later and I'll give you a bowl of it. And they did. They said, this is some of the best chili they've ever had. And I should enter it in a contest. I don't do that. I don't care about the contest. I just enjoy the cooking. I know how good my food is. I love to cook. And I thank my mom, and I love my grandma too. And she taught us a lot about cooking. And women, don't just think that just because you're a woman, you have to do all the cooking. Men need to learn to cook too. My mom taught all our brothers how to cook. She also made all the girls take out the trash too. She rotated all of the chores back and forth. The boys did not like it. They did not like doing the laundry. They did not like taking out, doing the cooking and doing dishes and stuff. And she goes, well, if you're not married, who's going to do it for you? See, that's why all boys and girls need to learn to cook, clean, take out the trash, mow a lawn. I mow a lawn. I don't make my husband do it all the time. I do it too. I enjoy it. I don't see it as a chore. I see it as exercising. There are ways of looking at things differently instead of making everything a job or a chore. You cook food you like. Don't just cook meals that I tell you that I enjoy. Yes, maybe you'd like to try it. That's good. But if you don't like it, then don't do it again. Find another meal that you like, and you will enjoy it. And you will be thanking yourself for putting the effort, the time, and the energy into cooking a creation by your own hands instead of being dependent on processed, pre-made garbage food at fast food places. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to do a video on how to make homemade baked bread. It's one of the easiest things you can make at home. Very easy, very simple, and you will love it. God bless all of you in America. Bye-bye.